What a piece of mix up on blender. Hey, wait, wanna come, make we talk about this. How come nobody never said SouFlo? You know, see this one, yeah? Me rotted. We're talking about two highly accomplished individuals here, two highly educated individuals here as well. We are talking about the Jamaican man that was charged with the murder of his male Jamaican partner in Canada. Come make we talk. Welcome to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Alright, it was printed like this. Jamaican man has been charged with the murder of his Jamaican male partner under mysterious circumstances in Toronto, Canada. 28-year-old Lathan Malcolm of Toronto has been charged with second-degree murder relating to the death of 38. Alright folks, so every once in a while you find a cooking tutorial channel that really hits the nail on the head. If you're tired of following these channels and the food never comes out like you expect it to come out because it's not authentic, then switch over to this authentic Jamaican channel that will cook the food and have you cooking the food in your own house like a real pro. I'm talking about Eat Good TV. Alright, just go over to Eat Good TV, hit that subscribe button, tell them SouFLoTV sent you, and pick one of their meals and make it a treat day for your family today. But now lie, the oxtail look wicked, the curry chicken look bad, the chef look like she knows exactly what she is doing, and that is because she is authentically Jamaican. The video is clean, you can see every ingredient going into the pot, so you don't have to guess what that she just put in the pot. And the sound quality is clear, the visuals are clear, the seasoning them look pretty. But let's not get too excited over this Eat Good TV thing, yeah man. Hear what I'm saying to you. Go over to Eat Good TV, hit that subscribe button, and look at one of those meals and make your family and yourself happy today. A lot of you think you can't cook Jamaican food, but you can with a good tutorial and a good chef like the one that's here on Eat Good TV. 8-year-old Rupert Brown, a medical doctor. So we get the idea that it is two males, two Jamaican men. One is 28 and one is 38. They are 10 years apart in age. It was reported that the police were called to the Keele Street, Eglinton Avenue West area in West Toronto at about 3:25 a.m. on a Saturday morning of February 27. Brown was later found with obvious injuries, according to the release from the Toronto police. No further details were provided about the nature of the injuries. That was at that time. We have more information, so stay tuned. However, media reports suggest that the Jamaican that was found in his apartment on the third floor of a complex after the neighbors called the police because the neighbors heard one bag of ruckus up there and beer bawling and whoa. So the neighbors called the police. He was later pronounced dead. The police then come find somebody badly injured and he was later pronounced dead. Investigators arrested Malcolm later on Saturday and charged him in connection with that death. He appeared in court that same day because I saw Canada do things. He appeared in court that same day. The police indicated, however, no details of the court hearing were shared with the public. But according to media outlet Global News in Canada, Malcolm has been remanded in custody until March 18th. We are in May now. I don't know what happened to Malcolm. I am thinking that he is still incarcerated and waiting trial because they are going to try him for this murder. Interestingly, the news outlet reported that Malcolm had been involved in a domestic abuse case some weeks before Brown's death. It is said that the police was called and a report was filed which was a domestic issue. Again, matter of fact, Malcolm was the aggressor in the previous incident. So one of them case there where him a beat up him girlfriend or his boyfriend, because you know in these relationships they have dynamics. One usually plays the female while the other one assumes the role of the man, right? And it somewhat mimics a man-woman relationship. So apparently Malcolm was the man, or he was the beater. He was the one who was aggressive. He was the one who was beating up his partner, which is the doctor. Could you imagine, you are so highly educated, you are a certified medical doctor, and yet still you go home to a beating? What part of your brain says, go home and take your licks them? Go back to that same apartment with that same abusive person who put hands on you or draw weapons on you when they are ready. Anyway, Malcolm was reportedly on bail at the time of the incident. Listen, he was already on bail at the time of the incident after being charged with possession of a deadly weapon, which was a knife, assault, and assault with a weapon on January 27th. The complaint in the matter was Brown, the person who is now dead. Jano. Now, based on Brown's Facebook profile, he was from Montego Bay, St. James, and he was a past student of Cornwall College. He studied medicine at the Mona campus of the University of the West Indies between 2010 and 2015. Brown's LinkedIn profile, this is the same person who passed away. Brown's LinkedIn profile also suggested that his last place of employment in Jamaica was at Cornwall Regional Hospital, where he worked as a medical doctor between 2018 and 2020. It is not clear when he actually moved to Canada, and his LinkedIn profile did not share his present occupation in Canada. But as you can see, he worked as a medical doctor at Cornwall Regional Hospital from 2018 to 2020. We are just in 2021. So it kind of look like, say, as soon as him reach Canada, him dead. Don't it? Now, in relation to Malcolm, which is the one that is alleged to have killed his partner, his LinkedIn profile revealed that he was a former investigator employed at the Independent Commission of Investigation, or indecom, in Jamaica between January 2016 and 2020. If you check both of them, you will realize that their employment in Jamaica both ended in 2020. So I'm guessing sometime late in 2020, they both moved to Canada. They went to Canada and they were living together and as a couple and doing their thing, and then them start fight each other. I don't know if the cold weather get to them. I don't know if being away from home gets to them. I don't know if somebody went overseas and saw more opportunities and someone else became very jealous, because there is a track record here of Brown being abused by Malcolm. He was out on bail for another abuse incident where he was charged with possession of a weapon and using that weapon during an event where he was committing abuse against his partner, the same partner who eventually ended up dead. Now, up to the time of his arrest, Malcolm was a National Committee on Accreditation candidate at the Federation of Law Societies of Canada, according to his LinkedIn profile. Wow. Meanwhile, a woman purporting to have received permission from Brown's sister, she shared a message on Facebook informing of the Jamaican's passing, the 38-year-old doctor's passing. With permission received from his, Rupert Brown's, family, it is with extreme sadness that I announce that our dear colleague and friend, Dr. Rupert Brown, has passed away. If you are a member of the medical and dental class of 2015, I am sure you remember him fondly. May he rest in peace. Please keep his family in your prayers, the woman posted. She went on to share a message, supposedly from Brown's sister, the same person who passed away. I do not know all my brother's friends or have their contact details. which leads to a message on his timeline. Rupert will not be responding to any messages or calls anytime in the near or far future. This message is as hard to write as it is to accept what the reality is. My brother, Dr. Rupert A. Brown, has died. He was murdered in Toronto, Canada, Saturday early morning. So, if you were texting and calling and did not receive a response, his death is the reason for that. That must have been very hard for her to log into her brother's Facebook account and leave that message for all his friends to know that it is true he had passed. Now, for those who knew my brother, knew that he was a wonderful individual and he did not deserve to leave the world by the hands of another in a violent manner. I will not disclose the circumstances surrounding his death, except he did not leave this world at his own volition. That was taken away from him by someone who was selfish and post-stated. This is what the post stated. For those who were close to my brother and shared a bond with him, my condolences to you. Sigh. R.I.P., bro. You will always and forever be missed, the message concluded. Now, in the meantime, the police in Toronto, in a release, said that they are requesting residents, enterprise homeowners, or anybody who was within that space to examine their safety cameras or their dash cams for footage that will help them in this investigation as they gather evidence to go forward with a full-on murder case. There's so much to say here. Two highly accomplished, highly educated individual, obviously, because Malcolm, who was an investigator at Indecom, do y'all know what Indecom is? Indecom is the overseeing body of Jamaica that does all the checks and balances, meaning if police kick in your door and rough up somebody in your house and take some things or whatever, you go to Indecom. And Indecom will launch an investigation into whatever inappropriate behaviors were conducted by the police. Indecom is popularly known for cases where murder was involved, or where someone had died, I should say, where killing was involved by law enforcement and there's a dispute. You know, when the people them run out and say, my son never have no gun. My son is a hard working man. His construction, him work. Him don't trouble nobody. And police just come and shoot him up so for no reason. While the police is saying, we ran upon this man. He pulled out a weapon. The weapon that he pulled out, we found on him after he died in his hand still. It was a 9mm blah, blah, blah. And then they take that to Indecom, and Indecom does their research, launch their investigation, get into the matter, and police might get prosecuted or not, or family might get some money or not. Malcolm worked for them. This was his job. This is pure law enforcement. So it seems like even when he went to Canada, he was pursuing another career field, which is law, which is the career field that his partner was in, because his which is medicine, which is the career field which his partner was in. So he went to Canada pursuing law, it seems, right? From an investigator with Indecom to a lawyer would have been his career path. And he has a partner who is a doctor. Now, me know enough Jamaican are going to say stuff like, yes, a fishy business, two Batman, me done business with them and all that. At the end of the day, it's a human life that was taken, regardless of what his sexual preference was. And I know some people are going to say, yes, it's because he's in that kind of a relationship why that happened. Well, the truth is that I see more females dying in man-woman relationship. I'm not telling you to go run to a same-sex relationship because you are being battered by the opposite sex. I'm just saying people have their preferences and their choices, and violence seems to happen more so in a relationship that is man-woman. You understand? So it's a person that lost their life. And under the circumstances, I find it quite shocking and quite interesting. To be so highly educated, what part of you did not say to you or should have said to you that you didn't listen to, walk away? Leave this alone. You know, I remember again Mutabaruka saying that those relationships get pretty violent. If you ever see them fight, you ever seen two lesbians or two gay men fight each other when their relationship has gone sour? I've seen many of them over the years, you know, and they've been dragged down and dragged out, and they get bloody and them punch each other and stab and bite and kick. It's not a good look. But it's never a good look in any relationship, regardless of what the dynamics of the relationship is. To be with someone who abuses you to the point where you give them so many chances to abuse you over and over to the point where they end up killing you. I am willing to bet that this wasn't the first time that Malcolm got caught, or the first time that Malcolm beat Brown. Remember, when this happened, Malcolm was out on bail from a previous incident with the same kind of situation. So, knife was involved, Brown was the victim of that abuse, and Malcolm was released on bail. I don't know if Brown took out a protection order and then Malcolm sweet talk him back into the relationship. And you know, sometimes victims do this. They take out a protection order. They're mad after the beating. Them say, leave my house, I don't want to see you again. They go to the police station, they take out protection order. This person is supposed to stay within how many meters away from them and their residence and their neighborhood. Basically, the law says, if you see this person on the right side of the road, you better walk on the left side, and you better keep more than certain distance, however many feet or whatever apart. But what usually ends up happening in many of these cases is that the abuser is always able to sweet talk their way back in. I don't know why I did it. I love you so much. I am sorry. I won't do it again. And then they do it again. It seems to have been one of these kind of relationships with Malcolm and Brown. Brown has passed away. A doctor at 38 years old. Well, he died at 38 years old, and he worked in Jamaica at Cornwall Regional from 2018 to 2020. On record, we know as a doctor. So you could say he is probably became a doctor somewhere in his early 30s, right? Anyhow, leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. The interesting thing about these kind of videos is that when we put them up, our audience is so broad and diverse, and we do have a large following in Canada. So usually we will have people come out who knows these people, whether from Jamaica or from Canada, and they will be able to give you a more better insight. See? So if any of y'all have the better insight, please call me or leave it in the comment section below. Did you know Malcolm and Brown before all this? Or did you know them in Canada? Did Malcolm seem to be some kind of an aggressive person to you? Or was this one of the case of the person who acts like an angel outside, but behind closed doors is the demon devil? Talk up, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV, man. Be careful out there, and be careful out there, and be careful out there. I'm out. Peace. Alright folks, so every once in a while you find a cooking tutorial channel that really hits the nail on the head. If you're tired of following these channels and the food never comes out like you expect it to come out because it's not authentic, then switch over to this authentic Jamaican channel that will cook the food and have you cooking the food in your own house like a real pro. I'm talking about Eat Good TV. The sound quality is clear, the visuals are clear, the seasoning them look pretty. Me just get too excited over this Eat Good TV thing, yeah man. Hey, a lot of you think you can't cook Jamaican food, but you can with a good tutorial and a good chef like the one that's here on Eat Good TV.